Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the third game between Lili Vanili and der Vasall. And we have seen two incredible games already in the series. And can you believe it? Lili Vanili is up 2-0 against der Vasall. What is der Vasall doing? I think in the first game, he was just taking it a little bit too lightly. He was like, okay, it's Lili Vanili. I'm just going to win. No chance for her. And so he played kind of a mess in the end. Oh, speaking of mess, Lili Vanili, what is this? Take the turkeys! I know you don't want to kill the turkeys, but take them! Okay, at the same time, also laming her gold a little bit, but that's fine. But yeah, Vasall being 2-0 down. Last game he played more sincerely, more honestly, but still, he was like, okay, I have this Civ strategy, and I'm just gonna go for the Civ strategy no matter what. But now he needs to pull out all the stops. He needs to win this game. And no better map to do this than Amazon Tunnel, which is the favorite map by der Vasall. He always loves to play this map. So, of all the maps, he should win on this one. And also he has the Portuguese. So I think he has a pretty good strategy prepared for this, as he has so much practice with it. I still think that a better player would already be here and wall off, kind of. But maybe against Lili Vanili, he thinks it's not possible. Lili Vanili, on the other hand, she is the Franks. She also plays the Franks quite a bit. I don't quite understand why, because she never really goes for the Frank bonuses at all, but I don't know. She just likes the Franks for some reasons. So she is going for that. And so let's see what she has in store for us. Now already der Vasall 2 villager ahead, because Lili Vanili fumbling around in the beginning with the turkeys. Still no gather point here by the town center. And so now der Vasall can really make use of his superior mechanics. Even though I really hate this lumber camp. Look at this disgusting lumber camp. Only one tree right beside it. Whereas he could have just squeezed it in here maybe even. Okay, there's only one tile gap. But maybe put it here. Or just here. Would have been better. But I'm just nitpicking. Those are just minor adjustments. And who am I to criticize the big Vasall, who is now, of course, going forward, but should keep the scout here to kill the jaguar. Lose a little bit less HP on your villagers. But I think now we're going to see a wall off here. But it's a defensive wall off. Interesting. Not an offensive wall off. I would have loved to see more offensive wall off. But I think der Vasall does not believe in offensive wall offs. He's like, okay, let your opponent have it, and then just push back very strongly at a later age. And you certainly do have enough gold in the back to go for your ultimate army composition. So that's absolutely fine. This is also why Amazon Tunnel is kind of a little bit loathed by a lot of people, because it's just this one narrow corridor, and it's just a late game army battle usually. But I'm not familiar with the metagame here on Amazon Tunnel, so it might actually be nowadays much more aggressive, and we're gonna see that from der Vasall, hopefully. Now Lili Vanili is checking this out. She sees that there's walling action, could maybe even pick off this weak villager, but of course she doesn't check the villager HP, so if you click on the villagers, you see the hit points, and if you see they're weak, you can just try to pick them off, but maybe not even worth it here. And yes, and she should really focus on her own economy, being behind by a villager or two. She really needs to make sure that she's not falling behind too much. Otherwise, on these maps, it's a little bit like Arena. Not much is happening. We can talk maybe a little bit more about the civilizations. So the Portuguese, very strong in these closed kind of maps. Oh, actually, Lili Vanili, did she actually check the villager HP and attacked? That would have been interesting. But the Portuguese, very strong. They have the organ guns, which are, I would say, a broken unit. They probably need a slight adjustment to them, because they are just so oppressive in many circumstances on these closed maps. There's just not many good units that you can use against them. They're counted as siege weapons, so monks cannot convert them without redemption. And there's just a lot of things where it's like, I don't know. It's like hard to deal with the organ guns. Although they have changed them a little bit recently, where I think they're now easier to counter with mangonels, but still they're just very strong. And look at this, there's some villager fighting here, but this villager, as I said, it's already kind of weak. And the Vasall has to bring in the other villager here, but his own villager kind of getting weak. Lili Vanili also having a villager here, starting a wall off in the center of the map. But she needs to make sure that her scout doesn't get killed. But yeah, in the end, the Vasall going for this kind of layered wall off, making sure that there's no way that Lili Vanili can walk through and raid him. But now I think we're gonna have a kind of a border here with a little bit of no man's land in between. Very nice scout micro here by Lili Vanili. The scout is super weak, but the Vasall doesn't really realize it or doesn't act accordingly, and we have one villager against one villager. Now the Vasall's villager is stronger, but the Vasall does not dare to attack. The Vasall is like, okay, I have to wall off because there might be more villagers coming, and there are no more villagers coming, but still maybe a reasonable move to do here. And Lili just walls off herself. She got a little bit more of the cake actually, so that's interesting. She got 3 relics here against the 2 of the Vasall, and that's really what would count in a very late game situation. At the same time, Lili Vanili, did she just lose a villager? No, I think it was just maybe she did lose a villager here, because this boar went back, and I thought a villager count was dropping. But anyways, let's not dwell on that. The scout of the Vasall is in the back of Lili Vanili's base, but I don't think it will do too much. And I think now we will have the wall off completed for both players. So the gap has been plugged, and so we won't see any kind of feudal age aggression, I believe. I think both players will scramble up to the castle age. Lili Vanili on the way to the feudal age, whereas the Vasall still in dark age. And this is what you want to do. If you want to go for a fast castle, it's better to delay the feudal age a little bit and then go for the fast castle. Although the pros, especially with the civilization like the Portuguese, they can just pull off like a 23 pop fast castle, so they don't need to wait for 25 pop. Because the bonus of the Portuguese is that if you go on the berries, you actually get a trickle of wood, and you can see it here. We have now 4, or no, okay, let's see, 0, and this should go up to 1 very soon. There you go. That's the passive trickle of wood that you get from the berries, and that's why you typically want to saturate the berries a little bit more with the Portuguese, because it's just basically a 2-for-1 deal. So villager working on 2 things at the same time. But overall, in the end, you will forage out the berries anyway, so you will get the full bonus in the end. It's just a matter of timings and momentum, as Mem would put it. Now, Lili Vanili is in the feudal age already, now transitioning heavily over to wood. Probably needs more wood for something. Yeah, she doesn't have too much wood, doesn't have too much food in the bank as well, so she cannot go for a fast castle. Still has a boar here. So she really wants to expand her economy in the feudal age and then go for a castle age approach. Now, Vasall is in the feudal age. He will drop down the buildings that he needs. Let's see. Oh, so look at this. This is Vasall's strategy. Vasall nowadays goes to feudal age and then gets all the economy upgrades at the same time. And I wonder if he just queues them already, or how, but you cannot queue them when you're going up to the next age. So interesting. So he really is ready for that click up sound, and then he just gets the upgrades immediately. Whereas wheelbarrow is at this point is too early, because you only have 5 farms. So wheelbarrow is not really necessary, or not that big of a boost at this point, but of course in the long run it always pays off to get wheelbarrow. But I think it would be better to just get 2 more villages. Also, yeah, the Vasall, really bad fast castle approach. Sorry to criticize you here, but no villages on gold, 700, 800 wood in the bank, and yeah, by this time you could have already had your buildings, so you're not even building barracks or the market and the blacksmith. So I don't know what the Vasall is really doing here. Of course he wants to mine some stone, but you can just do that later, or do it in addition to the gold. So that's a little bit questionable. because with the market, even with these kind of resources, you could just rebalance your economy, just sell a little bit of the wood, and then buy a little bit of food, and you're up to Castle Age in no time. And that just gives Lili Vanili, who is up in terms of villages, 3 more villages for Lili Vanili. What is happening here? And she is now going for the market. She has an archery range, which doesn't make too much sense, especially since she is the Franks. But I think she's just doing that because in the previous games she had a lot of success with the archery range. So let's go over to her point of view. She's also now going for wheelbarrow and another villager. So she needs some more time to go up to the next age. But now she has the market. She can start to buy the food, and she will have a pretty reasonable economy, all things considered. 10 farms here against the 0. What? 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 But I'm at a loss for words, guys. Did you see that? De Vasall just deleted all his farms. He could have just, I don't know, he could have just let the farms be there and just retasked the villages to stone, but he's like, no. No one is farming in my kingdom. No more food will be taken under my watch, because he's up to the next age. To be fair, he's still going for this year, so he wants a little bit more food, but that's it. And otherwise, he just has stone. Now he does have enough stone for the castle, which is why you can see that this approach was not optimal, because he's not yet up, but he already has the stone count, so it could have been optimized a little bit. But let's see what he has in store here. He deleted 8 farms. That's absolutely crazy. And he even went for the farm upgrade, guys. He even went for the farm upgrade, but he's like, okay, I got the upgrade, I got the food that I want. Let's delete everything. Let's burn it to the ground. Scorched earth doctrine is what reigns in Der Vasall's kingdom. And we still have this villager over here getting some more stone, and now we have a castle over here. And of course, due to Lili Vanili's wall off over here, that castle actually isn't as far forward as it could have been, but still, it's in a pretty good, nice place. Also, we see a siege workshop and a monastery, and I think Der Vasall just wants to go for a organ gun plus siege plus monk approach, which is very, very strong and very hard to stop. And yeah, the thing about the organ guns is you only need wood and gold, so he doesn't really care about the farms, and he probably won't even produce any more villages soon and just go for organ guns and some economy upgrades. And yeah, the organ guns are here. Lili Vanili now having some stone walls, so that's very good, but she maybe needs to think of a way of walling off here as well, making like a second wall off, and then having like a castle ready here just to defend a little bit, because now the organ guns are coming in. The castle could actually already shoot the walls, which it doesn't do. But yeah, the organ guns are just devastating here. And now more stone is being mined by Der Vasall, who of course wants more castles. Lili Vanili is still stuck in the feudal age, but now she's almost up. Now she's up to the castle age, so not too far behind. She has 1 more villager still, but still in terms of economy pretty even. And the first battering ram is here, and that's just very hard to stop. Lili Vanili really needs some defenses here. Maybe a wall up here, castle here. She does have enough for a castle, so she does start the castle, but 1 villager is just not enough. It's not going to be up in time. I mean, luckily for Lili Vanili, Der Vasall did not attack the walls, because then this wall would have already been broken and Der Vasall would just roll in unhindered and unhinged. And now we got some knights, which are very strong, but you need a lot of knights against the organ guns. Also, we have some monks already, so already a counter to the knights here. And now Vasall also going for the relic pickup. So clearly Der Vasall knows what he's doing. He has a very good strategy prepared. Very nicely done here by him. I have to give him a lot of credit here. Now a little bit slow on breaking in, but that's okay. I mean, he doesn't need to break in any faster than this, because Lili Vanili has nothing. A single villager building this castle. What is this? That's just that's just ridiculous. Now, second town center here from Lili Vanili, so she wants to boom a little bit. Of course, as the Frank, she gets the farm upgrades for free, and she still has farms. But yeah, this is unstoppable here by their Vasall. Lili Vanili has 2 knights, and the knights just die against this many organ guns. He would need like 20 knights, and the knights are just dead, not achieving anything. But their Vasall not quite going forward. I think he didn't see the castle. Oh, he did see the castle. He probably thinks it's finished, and yeah, it is almost done. Lili Vanili just buying enough time with her 2 knights here to get the castle up, and now the castle's up, so a little bit more difficult to ram it down. So I think the Vasall needs more siege weapons, but yeah, Lili Vanili has nothing in defense. A few knights, but we saw what happened to the knights. I don't know how you can stop this now. Now the Vasall even going forward for another castle. The relic heist has begun, and Lili Vanili actually getting 1 relic for herself, so very nicely done. And this is an interesting castle here by their Vasall, right into the face of Lili Vanili, but just outside of the range for her villagers. If Lili Vanili actually had Botkin arrow, which is unrealistic with the Franks at this point, she could have just shot down all of those villagers, interestingly enough. But yeah, with the castle, actually, it's very hard to stop a ram push at this point, and you can see just how strong the organ guns are. That's just crazy. They just kill everything with the extra projectiles, with everything, and the knights just die. And I don't know. I don't think Lili Vanili has much against this, if anything. And yeah, she had some X-Men queued, which maybe would have even been a good choice here, because they could just sit here and maybe defend against rams, but then she cancelled them, probably because she was afraid of the organ guns, because the organ guns are very, very good against the X-Men. So it kind of makes sense. But now Lili has a siege workshop, and I think she just needs some mangonels, but it's just gonna be too late. There's already so many rams, but the mangonels, if she had 2 mangonels here sitting here, 2 mangonels, she could easily defend from this push. I firmly believe this, but it's just a little bit too late. She's just, I think a second layer of stone walls would have been actually pretty good here. But yeah, it's just not enough. She will get out 1 mangonel, but it's just not enough. And also this forward castle just makes it so that Lili cannot batter down the rams. She cannot really repair. Now the first mangonel is out, but it's kind of like, where is this mangonel going? It's going to the other side of the map. It's just not very... The gather point was not set in a correct way, and now this mangonel will not be able to attack before the castle goes down. But you can see here, 1 mangonel shot can deal like a quarter of a health damage to those rams, but now the mangonel needs to run, because the rams also have a lot of bonus damage against the mangonels. But yeah, I think Lili cannot stop this. But look at this. Oh, nicely clumped up. Look at the damage here by the mangonels. Holy shit. So you can see, okay, so you can actually stop the organ guns, but you need some mangonels here. And now the ram push kind of stalled out a little bit. 1 ram actually falling, a few organ guns being killed, but oh, look at this. Look at the fire from the organ guns. Just too many. It's just way too many, and there's nothing Lili Vanili can do. She needs 10 mangonels right now, and then just perfect micro, because the organ guns don't do too much damage nowadays to the mangonels, but still, with that many organ guns, 25 organ guns, it's just not enough. Now Lili Vanili tries to go for another castle, but she has nothing to defend from. I think economy-wise, Lili Vanili now firmly ahead, and if she was able to stop the push here, I think she would have been a very good situation in this game. But right now, their Vasall just pushing in, and I don't think there's much Lili Vanili can do. But yeah, now Vasall adding back in the farms. He's like, what is this Vasall logic? It just blows my mind sometimes. But yeah, he will win this game handily. It's on his favorite map. It's with a very nice prepared strategy from him, and Lili Vanili calls the GG, and Vasall wins the game. But I have to say, Lili Vanili had a pretty good chance here. Stopping the push here with some mangonels was just a little bit too slow. Just the experience of their Vasall just showing through, having a very strong, unique unit here. Lili Vanili, more villagers in the end, better economy, but if you can't defend, then it's just not enough. She would have needed 2 more siege workshops, and then maybe a castle, then she could have defended. She certainly did have the resources for it, if you look at the resource count, but just wasn't quick enough, and so then Vasall just steamrolled through the middle. Very nicely done by him. Very good game plan from him. Just drop the castle, get the unique unit, second castle forward, ram push, not even waiting for the Imperial Age, which is what I would have expected from him, and just go from there. And clearly it yielded him a victory, even though the farm move was just incredible. So this was it from my side. For now, because the 4th game has not been played so far because of the lack of time, because De Vasall has drawn out the 2nd game too long, according to Lili Vanili, but I'm not sure if that is actually true. But yeah, the 4th game will have to wait, but right now Lili Vanili in the lead 2-1, and I think even looking at this game, she has very good chance. Maybe she's even the favorite in the final game, but even if she loses the final game 2-2 against De Vasall, going in as the underdog is a very strong performance. So this was it for now, and I hope to see you soon and in the next game.